in the sense that, yes, she's a Nigerian and she's resident in South Africa and she's currently in the UK. So let me describe. She is born in Nigeria, raised in Nigeria. At some point, she relocated to South Africa, done being in the university, resident in South Africa. But now she's with the Imperial College London, where she's a visiting professor in that university. You'll hear more about that. But let me say that Professor Babalola is also the director Winder University in South Africa, that is Northwest University, South Africa. She's the director of full security and safety. You can see that that's a very important position. But not only that, she's not just relevant in the university, she's also relevant globally by also being the president of the Third World Academy of Sciences. So, and other distinguished awards that she has received being a mobile researcher. And more importantly, maybe I should say this, she's one of the mentors on the AGMCP. And we revere her so much because she's so amiable and so passionate about training the next generation of mentors in the continent. And recently, she published in one of the special issues that we organize in the African Journal of Sustainable Development, where she was talking about essentially the future and the SDGs and how the global goals are interrelated and connected to making progress in the world. Without much ado, allow me to introduce and welcome this amiable mama and mentor of mentors, Professor Olubukola Oluranti Babalola, to make a presentation this day on research, leadership, and work-life balance. Prof, you are welcome. I hope I did describe you well. If I miss anything, please add.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the introduction. It's a privilege to be here. I must say it, that is really a privilege. And I'm glad for every one of us that are here, and also for the fact that the message is being recorded. I want to mention that for us to make the most of this meeting, we have to ask questions. It's not what I really want to say. It's the question that will make me to speak to a specific need. Otherwise, there is nothing that you want to hear that you have not heard before. It may also be that you have not been paying attention to it, but you've heard them many times over. So I'm Olubukola Oluranti Babalola. I'm the Vice President for the World Academy of Sciences and also the Vice President for the Organization for Women in Science for the Developing World. I'm showcasing this organization as well as the Nigerian Academy of Science, where I am the foreign secretary. This organization, I'm not just showcasing them for the sake of showcasing them, is because I want to sensitize you that these organizations are there. Now I know the platform where I'm speaking, we are from different nations of the world. So even if you are not from Nigeria, because the Nigerian Academy of Science is applicable to you if you are from Nigeria, but we also have foreign members. There are Academy of Sciences in your country, and if there are not, you are welcome to contact me. We can work together to establish the Academy of Science. It is possible. We've done it in a few countries, and there is no hiccup to doing that. The topic before me today is research leadership, and I put in between it helping your team to succeed. Because when you are talking about leadership, it means you have someone you want to lead. Don't tell me we are not talking about leadership in terms of office, that we are talking research. If you even say research leadership, it means you have like students that you are supervising, as a supervisor, or you have, peradventure, you are in a research institute and you have others that are under you reporting to you whose research you are supervising. So you'll find out that you are working with a team of people. Indirectly, for you to have that title as a leader, you have people that are reporting to you, or you have excelled in a particular field of your research. But there are these thoughts, few things that you need to put in there and there that will make things really work better. And also, we are talking about work-life balance. It's a tricky one, but let's delve into it. I want to ask that even as I'm speaking, I will be asking questions. I really want it to be participatory. Thank you. For leadership, there is need to have vision. In fact, without vision, you have lost it. And if you have lost it, you cannot lead. If you think about your research and you want to be a research leader, it means also you have a vision for the research. You have a particular topic that you want to interrogate. You have some things that you want to research. According to that word, I use it again. You have some things you want to study. So there must be a vision. The same is the way you are going to lead the people in your research group. And I'm emphasizing people in your research group because if I will ask a question now, how many of us that are principal investigator are by ourselves the one mixing the chemicals? Probably little or none. Because at that stage where you're a principal investigator, you are either supervising your PhD, your master's, or the honors students. And since they are the one that want to hand the degree, they are the one that will go to the lab, mix the chemical, go to the field, do the planting, whatever it takes in terms of the research you are doing. So you'll find out that you must not lack vision. Besides vision, it is crucial to learn the art of prioritizing. I mean, it's a dangerous balance because that will take us also to later when we will be talking about the issue of work-life balance. There is need to set priority. I tell you, since I've woken up today, there are so many things that have demanded my attention. I'll find out that by the time it is 12 in the evening, I wouldn't have been able to do all because I'm not a machine, but I have to prioritize. So when you want to be a research leader, that aspect of prioritizing in your career is crucial. And I put some things here. I say, prioritize what is truly important to your research group. And at the same time, before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. So if you yourself, you have not come to the stage of maturity to learn to prioritize, you cannot manage yourself. How do you want to manage others? If you cannot manage a simple research, how do you want to manage a research group? So you'll find that these things I'm saying now, they are not new things, but it's more like something for us to sensitize us and to have a relook into what we are doing. Because effective leaders, they know boundaries. Besides that, highly successful leaders support their team. How? Your strength Your strength is more or less the strength of your research group. Because we are talking about research leadership. if we look at any nation, we talk about the president of the nation. The president of that nation cannot do everything. The president will have cabinets. The member of cabinets will help in doing A, B, C, or D. It now rests on the president to use this diplomacy to know which one is good enough for the country, which one should be, pursued further, and which one should be terminated. That is you as a research leader. So when we are talking about research leadership, you have to build your own base, your students. You have to invest in them. And doing this, indirectly, we are saying the teamwork spirit must be there. For example, if a student is graduating, it is not the cup of tea of the student graduating alone. The whole team has successfully graduated, probably a master's student or a PhD student. Because in the days that the experiment was not working, or in the days that one student or the other has to sleep in the lab, it has been a journey of everyone in the lab. So I'm trying to say highly successful leaders will support their team. And at the same time, when the strength of this team is built, it will rub on you. How do you build the strength of your team? You need to recognize that candidate A is different from candidate B. And if you are here as a student or as an early career scientist, you are also listening now because your expertise may not be the same as the expertise of another candidate in the laboratory or in the research group. One thing we should do is to complement. You have to bring your own expertise. I bring my own, and we have that complementary effort. That will help us to strike a balance. And at the same time, as the research leader, you have to differentiate between helping the students and allowing you must know boundary. Otherwise, when you say you are helping the students to grow and you don't allow them to grow, you must know boundary. The same thing in this one applies even in our homes. The way we are raising our children, we have to know boundaries. Boundaries when I am training is different from the boundary when I supposed to allow this bird to fly. Let me see if he or she will fall, then I am ready, I'm available to catch before landing on the ground. So I'm trying to say that there is need to give them space, the space to grow. There is need to give them opportunity to be what they really want to express themselves. And the aspect of being patient comes, that honors rest on us. As a research leader, you need to make firm decisions. If you are weak, the students will know. As an early career researcher also, you need to make firm decisions in your career because if you are not firm, you will be tossed here and there. The incidents of life will happen, but your resilience can keep you going. And at the same time, you must learn to be committed to your team as the team leader. Being committed to your team, the people will see it, your students will see it, the collaborators will see it, because they can see you in and out day to day, and your personality, they can see that your personality. And if we as a research leader do not own that personality, it's something we can work on. And I hope I'm speaking to somebody. At the same time, also, there is need to be very positive. Sometimes we work in the laboratory, we never get results. Some students can be frustrated. Have you not experienced such in your career? When you work and it's like, how come you are not getting the results? Well, the result is funny. Especially, I remember when we are doing polymerase chain reaction, it can be here and there. Then you need to start modulating some things to give you the results that you want. Otherwise, you don't get that result. So you find out that you, as a research leader, you need the positive mind, because when students are breaking down in the lab, you are the one that is the closest to them that can really give them that encouragement. I remember when people will submit their work for publication and the work will come back as rejected, you could see it that, of course, it will be very painful to these students. And as the research leader, as leader in the sense that we are talking today, the onus is on you to encourage the individual that is a mere delay. It is not denial. And is also the fact that we should go back to the drawing board and tidy up anything that is deficient in the work. So, as a leader, your positive attitude will also keep you. Sometimes we apply for grants and you have invested day and night in it, and you think you have done the best, and you think surely I will get that fund, but alas, the results is here, and the letter is saying there are a number of people have applied, and they have not found your results good enough. That alone can make somebody to be dejected. But with a positive heart, you can encourage yourself and say, I know it is a mere delay, it is not denial. Because most grants, they will make a call again and you can reapply. So have a positive attitude and be very optimistic, because it's going to rub on your team. And even when we are talking about work-life balance, having a positive attitude will also keep you in good shape, because you find out that the what each day brings is so much that is not something that we can just overlook, except you are built for resilience. And I must say that especially for ladies, also for men, but especially for ladies, for you to be a research leader, you need to be speaking up. That aspect of being assertive will help you in life. Please understand the difference between being assertive and being aggressive. You are not to be aggressive. You are to be assertive. When you are assertive, you are speaking up. And when you are doing it, you are connoting also respect. At the same time, you are listening to others. However, you will not let them walk over you. That is where the assertiveness comes in. Because without you being an assertive individual, you will not go far in terms of research leadership. You when you are leading, you will meet with different types of people, with different types of temperaments. The cool one, the gentle, the hard to please, the never listening one, the one that will never respect deadline. I mean, there are different types of people. But with you being assertive, you will be able to move further and radiate confidence that the team needs to keep it going. And as a research leader, we do a lot of risky things in our research. Why? you buy, you invest a lot in equipment with the hope that there is going to be surplus reward, it can break down. That's a risk. You invest in a particular student, you say, okay, I'm going to fund you. The student comes only to get to the place of research and he or she develop wings. What can you do? So it is the aspect of risk is in the day-to-day activity of a researcher. And you just have to keep, I mean, you just have to roll on. And what I'm trying to say is that risk cannot be avoided. You have to face it. If you keep avoiding all possible risk, you will not be a good research leader because you would have inadvertently missed out on some cogent things that you need to work with. And communication, we know it in relationship that communication is important. So there should be communication in the research group. There should be communication between students. There should be communication between the student and the supervisor. If you are an early career researcher and you are doing your work and you never take it to the supervisor to say, this is where I am now, this is what I plan to do, what is your opinion? Then you will be derailed. Unconsciously, you may be derailed. Yes, you have your research proposal that you are following. But mind you, when we write research proposal, that is why we say we propose what we propose to do. As we are doing the work, it may take another direction that is quite different from our plans. What will now happen? So we propose, I want to do A, then the result from A, I'm going to use it to respond to the query on B and answer C. But when A works and I start B and B decide to go flat, what now happens? Even when the result is working, there should be communication. And when I say communication, it's not just talking. There is that two-way process because the supervisor as well cannot leave the student hanging. But more, it takes two to tango. And when we are talking about success, it rubs on the supervisor, it rubs on the student. But the student should be careful to know, peradventure, you are not the only one in the lab. You are not the only one in the research group. There are many people seeking the attention of that one principal investigator. Hence, it needs that you need to be proactive, you need to speak out, assertiveness, as I've mentioned, you need to take risk. Yes. And as a research leader, for example, if a manuscript gets published, as a research leader, it is important for us to acknowledge and to reward a job well done. Because we've been together in it when it was rejected. We've been together in it when we were mixing the chemical. So at the time that we have success also, we should learn to acknowledge, perhaps openly. Yes, we should learn to acknowledge it. And as when we have success as research leaders, it's important not to say we are the owner of that success if it is joint efforts. Joint efforts, I mean, like someone has mixed the chemical, another one has written the draft, another one has gone to library to do the curation of the literature. So it is joint efforts and many things like that. When relationship is good, in a research group, then your leadership will have a smooth sail, because people will be able to speak out whatsoever is their problem before that problem accumulates, before it gets out of hand. So we give reward. And meeting regularly in terms of lab group, research club is crucial. Now, if you are in this meeting as an early career person or as a student, there is nothing wrong if you bring a beautiful idea to your supervisor, because part of leadership is listening. If you have this beautiful idea that, oh, we have not been meeting regularly as a team, and you feel is a good thing that as a team we should be meeting regularly, bring the idea. The worst that will happen is the principal investigator will tell you that, will you be able to coordinate it, like make a timetable when we'll be meeting, what we'll be doing on each research club day or something of such nature. So the best team are those that work together. And when we meet regularly, we listen to candidate A. We'll be able to pick the problems of candidate A. And candidate B, C, E, and D that are in the meeting, they will hear and they will know that, oh, so I'm not the only one having this problem. Then we can begin to look for way to solve the problem as a collective. So meeting regularly as a team is part of team building exercise that will help us to have healthy research group. Now, as a leader, thing is to say something. Another thing is to do it. And we should be mindful to know that the people we are leading, they are not non-entities. So these people, they have wisdom also, and they are seeing us. So we should teach our team members instead of giving orders. I mean, there are boundaries. Like I was talking about assertiveness and being aggressive. There is this thin boundary between the time you are assertive and the time you are aggressive. And also, like when we are teaching and when we are giving order, there are boundaries. I like this saying very well that says proper planning prevents poor performance. In any research group, if you want to make success out of it, or as a research leader, proper planning prevents poor performance. The planning from the side of the principal investigator, the planning from your side as an early career researcher that have just started your life, the planning of you as a PhD student or master student. If you don't plan, you will fail. And if you plan, it helps you to be more effective. You will waste little or no chemical because you do your proper planning. You will save a lot on your time. Many of the hours that could have been squandered because you plan, you will save time. And indirectly, you are saving years. So I believe that we cannot make effective change if we ourselves are guilty of what we are trying to correct. For us to be a good research leader, to demonstrate good research leadership, there is need for a very healthy working environment, because the best in each of us will come out when the environment is healthy. And we also want our mental health to be, we want it in state that is going to help us and is going to bring the best out of us. So, my first question is this: who is the leader? Or, I mean, though I didn't put number, but you can describe. Look at the image I have on the screen, and I'll be happy by a show of hand. You can raise your hand so that somebody will answer this question. Who is the leader, or who is leading in moving the sugar, whatever, in this image? That's a question. I'm waiting to see someone with a show of hand who will help us.
If you cannot show your hand, you can also unmute yourself and speak, please. Yes, in case you are finding it difficult to see the icon to show your hand, you can unmute yourself and speak. Thanks. Do you want Prof to call on anyone to just say it? I can call on you now.
Okay, I can
Okay,
call. Let me start with Prosper.
Yeah, call anybody, please. Yes, thanks.
Yeah, may we have Prosper, please? Prosper, please unmute. Prosper could even be a professor or early career researcher, but please help us.
Yeah, Prosper is a PhD student from University of Zimbabwe.
Oh, Prosper.
And the incoming president of AGMCP Alumni Association. Yes.
Interesting.
Thank you for picking on him. He has to
Could you please
demonstrate.
unmute? Okay, probably is not there. Can we have Rebecca, please? Rebecca.
Rebecca is from Uganda, Kampala, Uganda. Rebecca, can you unmute yourself and say something?
This meeting will be as dynamic as the question that is posed and the response from the participants. Okay, let's have Nancy. Nancy Juma.
Nancy, yes. Saying that she's in the office, but Nancy, can we have Nancy, please, Juma? Nancy Juma is from Nairobi, right?
So we've moved from Zim to Uganda to Nairobi, and these nations are not responding.
Let's call somebody from Nigeria. I know Nigeria will not carry last.
Okay.
Damilola Olanikan, can you unmute yourself, please? Okay. Oh, Joseph. Okay, Joseph has raised his hand. Yes.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Good
Okay.
afternoon, Prof.
Yeah, Joseph, can you just introduce yourself quickly, then respond to the question that
Yeah,
raised?
here is Joseph Jakba, PhD postdoc researcher at African Institute for Mathematical Science in Rwanda, and currently mentor for one mentee in this cohort. So from the image that we are seeing is look like a team work rather than one lead. The team. So it is more like a teamwork.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's it's actually team. It's team. And that brings us to work-life balance. Let me tell you, if you want to do everything alone, it's possible to die before your time. Accept what I've just said. The way out is teamwork. You cannot do it alone. You cannot even strike a balance. It doesn't exist. But there are ways to cope. One of them is when you delegate duties. Then when you delegate duties, will you now say you did it alone? You cannot make such a claim. So it's about teamwork. Under this work balance, I want to look at 4 things: a healthy balance between work and life, and how can I tell if I have an unhealthy work-life balance. I want to look at self-help, and we will look at how your place of employment can assist. So, this image from hrmpractice.com is giving us something I want us to look at. And we are saying a healthy balance between work and life. Look at this image very well. The arrow never ends. It goes from self to work to family to friend to self to work to family. It never ends. So you start in the morning, by the end of the day, I tell you, you cannot finish. But there is something you should seek to get. And that thing you should seek to get is it making you to feel happy? Are you happy about it? If you are happy about it, then are you pleased? Do you find fulfillment in what you are doing? That is the balance you should seek. So it's important to be here for you to know that we are not talking about dividing, say 50% of my time, 12 hours is work, 12 hours is my life. No, you cannot, it's not possible. The thing you must seek to have is, am I happy? Am I pleased? Do I find fulfillment? The other one is, how can I tell if I have an unhealthy work-life balance? So there is a question now. What is unhealthy work-life balance? I really need help here. Unhealthy work-life balance. What is it about? What do you think? Let's use ourselves as practical example. Just reflect on yourself and or from what you have seen in people. When will you say this is an unhealthy work-life balance? So I'm going to call names again. Daisy. Oh, yeah, Daisy. Daisy, can you unmute and help us? Thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon, Ma. Good afternoon, everyone. So I think that an unhealthy life balance.
Daisy, please introduce yourself. Daisy is from Cameroon, and she's a PhD student in University in Cameroon. Just introduce yourself, I wanted to say. Yes, go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes, so my name is Chefo Daisy. I am a PhD student. I study development and institutional economics at the University of Yaoundé 2, Yaoundé, Cameroon. And I'm a doctoral fellow for the Images program. So an unhealthy life balance, I think it occurs when an individual prioritizes when an individual's priorities and responsibilities are not aligned, it can lead the person to neglect important aspects like nutrition, inadequate sleep, and those kind of, which can lead to chronic stress, poor relationships. So it makes the person not to be balanced.
You you see what I said at the beginning of this meeting, that we know these things. It's not that we don't know them, but we overlook them or we are not putting them into practice. I want to ask Samantha to please contribute or add to what Daisy said. Samantha. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. My name is Samantha Anyor from Kenya. I just graduated my master's. I'm in the master mentee. So having a healthy work-life balance means there is a stable set of mind. And actually, it contributes highly to the success of an individual at work as well. And it can clearly be seen if there is no appropriate work-life balance in someone's life. You can see in maybe in the set goals, especially contributing to success of a family and social circle and all that. All this contributes to being like achieving your set goals, especially in research and academics. Like it's a circle of things. One contributes to the other, and the outcome can clearly be seen, because if someone is not having a proper balance between all these, you can see they're like trying to juggle up all these activities in life. And as things get busier and busier, one might outweigh the other. But yeah, thank you for the encouragement and the advices and the contribution on how to appropriately balance all these things.
Thank you. There are two Damilolas on this platform. Itadari, could you start? Just help us. Could anyone ever achieve balance, work-life balance?
Um, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Itada Edamlola. I just concluded my master's studies at Babalayo University of Nigeria. And even though I just joined, I'm going to use my idea to answer. And then based on what they've said earlier, I think it's not really possible to be perfect in balancing your work-life schedule. But I think everybody can be effective and everybody can achieve optimum. So I think it might not be on the same level, but at least it comes with priority, and they're not allowing one area of priority affect the other area of priority. So it means if someone is an academic, then it should reflect in the family status, it should reflect on people around such people. So if you are able to teach, then it means you want to teach everyone, not just your students, but also your family. So I don't think it's a perfect way, or there will be a perfect work-life balance, but I think to a scale, there can be efficiency. To a scale, there can be optimality. Thank you, ma.
Yeah, thank you for your contribution. The other Damilola, are you here? You know, what have you noticed in people that have been successful? I mean, you have seen male and female, and they are occupying research leadership position. They have family, they have life. In fact, some are even very religious. They would not miss church or mosque. Some are very social. They will not miss. What do you have to say?
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm sorry I'm transit, but I'm try as much as possible to say some things. Over the years, I've observed that the people that have
Hello,
come
Damilola,
across.
can you please introduce yourself first? Yeah, Damilola is postdoc from Babalola University. Again, just introduce yourself, please. Yes, thank you.
Pages, program, and so, response that over the years, I've observed that people that seem to have high research position, that have high research position or are highly placed in their career, what I noticed first is that their family life is usually that of having a spouse that is that agrees with them, that cooperates with them, that assists them in or that supports them in their research endeavors. First, having a cooperative spouse, a supportive spouse. Then the other one is proper time management. Proper time management only going for events that are very important or attending to issues that are very important. Then most of them usually have a scale of preference, like they set priorities or as to what is important for them to do per time. So differently, time management, having a supportive family, especially a supportive spouse, and then the third one is proper time management. Thank you, ma'am.
You know, I can give you an award for your comments. That aspect of family support is a very strong one. Partners must support their partner. I'm telling you, friends must support their friends. And you'll find like early career researcher, and at the same time, as I use myself as an early career researcher, I'm at the stage of childbearing. I can't say my children are childbearing should go and wait. Let me finish research, then I will start doing childbearing. No. So you see, I have to do this work-life balance. I have to be raising children. I have to be doing research because I want to get my PhD. I have my life to live. But like what we have said, that it is teamwork. I like that your answer on family support. You see, if you are the type that makes good friend, we can plan. Maybe today you manage the children, so I have full day in the library. I just use that as an example. It can come in different ways. Or I have to go to this conference, and the two of us now, we are foreign students, for example. There is no mother here, grandma to help. With friend support, you can help me. So I don't miss that my conference in Canada. And next time it may be your turn. You have that conference in Hawaii. Then I babysit for you also. So you will find out that family support is crucial. Family support is also the aspect that the husband support the wife and the wife support the husband. People always feel it's the wife that should be supporting husband. No, you support husband, husband also support wife. That is the way to go. Thank you for mentioning that aspect of family support and the things you have said also. You were emphasizing soft skill. Indirectly, I didn't call it soft skill. When you talk about research leadership or leadership anywhere, that soft skill, you gather those things over time. They are the things that will help you in your journey. You cannot do without them. Even when you establish the lab and you see two students are quarreling, you have to bring your soft skill to action, conflict resolution. Or you see that you are running out of resources and This candidate must submit and graduate. Another candidate also is putting effort. You have to now set priority. It's soft skill. Issue about time management is also soft skill that you will need in rolling along in this career journey. Thank you everyone for your contribution. And I want to go back to my slide before I leave the floor open to practical questions that you can ask, then I will contribute. So we say, how can I tell if I have an unhealthy work-life balance? You need to take a break first and reflect. If you take a break and you reflect on your life, you will notice some things. If you refuse to take a break and sickness makes you to take a break, that is disastrous. And you will spend more money also to get yourself back to good shape. You would have lost substantial time. They say a stitch in time saves nine, something that you're supposed to have done. I use the word that the body is not machine. So if that body is the one doing the work, you also need to take care of it so it can do more. Then you need to pay attention to your feeling. Sometimes we have fulfillment and we are happy. Those are good days. But sometimes you are angry even with yourself and resentful. Then it means something is wrong. So when I was saying you have to pause, it's like you need vacation, you need rest. Again, the aspect of reprioritizing. Before we say we set priority, but there are times you need to reprioritize. Because if you are doing something over and over again and you are not getting any results, you must reprioritize. So for you to have healthy work-life balance, there is need to pause at times. There is need to pay attention to your feeling. There is need to reprioritize depending on the occasion. Also to consider alternatives and at the same time to make changes. This one, I cannot dictate to you to say, don't check email over the weekend, check email over the weekend. No, because some people, maybe your own break is a Wednesday. On Wednesday is the time that you break from everything. So your whole weekend, maybe that is the time you can find someone to mind the children, then you can be effective. So you see, it's not a one size fits all. More also, especially for women. Let me tell you, self-help is crucial. This one, nobody can teach you. You have to do what we call self-care, to care for yourself. Nobody will teach you because the incidence of life is the teacher teaching every one of us. If in our life we are working, we are doing hard, yes, really, really working hard, and we never pay attention to the life we are living, that is disastrous. So when we say work-life balance, it's a way to tell us, have that self-help. For women, sometimes it could be like some other things that you will have to do yourself. You can ask someone to do it for you, then you pay for the service. You are buying the time so that you can have that time to yourself. We do it in different ways. In office, we do it either by delegating. you delegate responsibility to people to do. It's a way to, help you to recover on some hours of the day. And this one, I say, it will be difficult to teach anybody for you to strike the balance. But life happens. I put a lot of stories here. And I put the stories here so that I'm going to leave the slide with Dr. Laide, so that if your place of work is not putting these things to practice, you can passionately ask one at a time with good suggestion. This thing can be put to bear. For example, say the second bullet point say teach supervisors to recognize stress and a lack of work-life balance. Some places of work, they will organize training for their principal investigators to help them to be sensitive because they may not know. So they provide training even for the principal investigators to educate them. And you know, when you are ignorant is a bad thing. So once you are aware, then you will be sensitive. Then the last bullet point says ask staff members how they will balance work and life. Maybe some will say, I want to close from work early and sit at home and continue my work. The fact that I go home doesn't mean I've finished the work. If it means I will not have stress because now I have my child with me, then it helped me. I can put in the remaining 1 hour I supposed to do in the office. I can put up that 1 hour at home. But now, because I've picked my child from the crèche, I'll be able to concentrate. There are different ways that we strike the balance. And that is why I say it will be difficult to dictate to anybody because it is not a one size fits all. Now, when you have done all these things, like I said earlier, then there is need for celebration. Say, cheers to a successful team. I'm now open to questions, and frankly speaking, I will respond to your question. If you don't want another person to know who asked the question, you can just send the question to private, send it to Dr. Laide or send to me in the chat. You may not post it in the general, then we can help each other. So it is the question time. Dr. Olaide, I hand over to you, but I will respond to questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof, for we thought this meeting would be 1 hour, but we're a little over an hour now. Maybe we'll take the next couple of minutes, maybe maximum of 15 minutes to attend to comments and questions, and maybe opportunity to also share your own experience. Work-life balance. Nobody is measuring whether it's balanced or not balanced. You are the only one that will know by yourself, by the pressure or the pleasure that you have to say, oh, my life is doing well or not doing well. You can check with yourself. And I know that all of us, at some point in time, we feel too much pressure and just feel that I wish I can just run away from this situation. And no, I don't know whether you have faced the reality like that at some point in time, or that you are even doing a lot of work and people don't seem to appreciate it, and like we say in our own area, and the culture that we have even in Africa is also putting a lot of pressure on us. And that's not to say that when you travel out, you have less pressure anyway. Each location has its own challenges, so you can run away from it. In our culture, we are attached to families. nuclear family, extended family, and you think that where you are abroad and people back home feel that, oh, you are doing well. So there are a lot of pressure everywhere. So I think it's a time for now for us to discuss and help one another to say, okay, if we are faced with this type of challenge or pressure, how do you balance life? The other thing I want to, as a comment, is to say that you just have to always, as Prof said, always have to find some time to relax. You can never finish your work. Nobody has ever finished any work in this life, right? So you have to find time to say, okay, let me also savor this moment and enjoy by going to places that you love to be, right? Going for conferences, going to parties of your friends, and being in social gathering where you unwind, more or less. People say, that's the length of work or the lifespan of work is more than the lifespan of any human being, right? So it's therefore your own responsibility to help yourself, right? And don't ever think anybody is there to make you, to help you, to make you feel good. You have to create the environment that you want. Be in the cycles of people that motivate
I cannot hear Dr. Laide, and I've not seen any question. So I think we may end the meeting. Yeah, I didn't see any question, be it in a private chat or in the general chat. So thank you for your attendance, and I wish every one of us well. Thank you.
I have a question.
Okay, yeah. Y-
Okay. I'm typing chat box. I'm already typing.
Can you say the question? Okay, you are typing. Please type.
While she's typing, please can I just make a few comments?
Ma.
Prof, can I make some comments?
Ma.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Ma, I said yes, ma.
Okay.
I said
This is
yes.
Foye Aduamiwa Modupe from University of Ibadan. Thank you. As I was just doing something, I just saw the flyer. I said, okay, I will join. Although I had some other things doing it, I'm glad that I joined. Like you said, it's not that we are not familiar with some of these things, but we usually forget. And so I want to appreciate the presentation. It has really helped me. Presently I'm on research leave, but the research leave, I still go to work. But like you said, giving some people, paying some people to do some work for you, we also help you. That's what I'm doing currently because I just find out that with the workload, by the time I go to, I just find out that I still have a lot to do. So now with that uh, uh, insight that okay, you can ask some people to help you do some things. It has really been a bit, and now with the discussion again that we have had, it has been quite enlightening. And of course, I've been reminded of some of the things I should be doing, and so I want to say thank you. God bless.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Foye. Before I started that one on work-life balance, I showed an image, and that image says everything. Those ants, they have wisdom, and their wisdom is teamwork. So And it's good you have said you cannot share everything. If you share everything, it will take you donkey years. And then we should learn to work smart. It's not working hard anymore. It's to work smart. I have 2 questions I will respond. One of the questions say, will you share how you balance your earlier career and family life as a lady? Thank you. As a lady, I know that I have to keep my home. My marriage is important. At the same time, I'm blessed with children, not even one child. And I know that those children, they must not be wayward. So I have another bag to carry. Husband is one, children two. Number 3, I have my life. Interesting enough, I'm committed to serving God. So I have my service to God, making it 4. Then I can't remember the other one because I used to know that I have 5 things I'm contending with and I must attend to all these 5. For example, I know that lab will open at 8 o'clock. So I will leave early to drop the children at the fresh for me to have time to transport myself to the laboratory where I'm going to work. And at the same time, 4 o'clock like this, all my ears, the antenna are like this because I don't want my children to be the last one at the crash. Otherwise, they'll be the first to get there, the last to go. Then I don't want those children to suffer. So I've learned the opportunity that family is great. So I count on support from my husband. I count on support from my friends. I Let me tell you, if you want to get support from friends, you too, you must be friendly. Because when you cannot help them to manage their own issues, sometimes it may not be child they are asking you to help them with. If you cannot render help, you don't expect them to go extra mile for you. So I've learned to make use of friends and the people that I met in my place of worship. I look at those that will be like myself, like they have the same challenge like me. So I see those ones that are studying and have family. So it's like we have the same thing to contend with. And I'm good enough, we make good friends and we could help each other. At the same time, since I know the time the child will be asleep, and I capitalize on that time to sit down to write because all the things, the work I've done in the lab, I need to scribble some things down before I forget or I have missing data. So I capitalize on the time the child will sleep. And at the same time, I'm the type that travels a lot. So one thing I do is to make friends very easily, very like the place I am now, I'm less than 2 months. I've quickly make friends. It's not that I'm raising children, but I tell you, it is the life I live because I will need them and they will need me. I'm not like a parasite that is also just taking from people and not having nothing to offer. So show yourself friendly. It's going to help you and learn to appreciate. We say acknowledge and reward the people that you have used. Don't use them as dumping like footmats. You just use them and that's all. No, learn to acknowledge, learn to appreciate. Then somebody asks that you have a successful career as a woman. How do you cope working as a Nigerian PI in South Africa? What happened is you need to have cultural intelligence. It's not only in South Africa that I've worked in Kenya and a number of these institutes are international institutes as well. You need cultural intelligence. People we are all human beings, but there are some subtle cultural things. One thing you will learn that is soft skill in this cultural intelligence is body language. Some people they don't say everything with their mouth. If they don't like what you are doing, with their body language, you will know. You stay off that thing. So body language is another soft skill that is helping me because I've learned to know that we say a little percentage with the mouth, the bulk of the things we say is with the facial expression or the just the body language anyway. Then another one has, my question is, we normally have an aspect of having leaders who are perfectionists. They never want to take risk of research or always want things to go the way they want. On the side of those on such a leader's team, how do we deal with perfectionists? Thank you. And it's part of what I've said, that we are not the same and there is no one size fits all. No matter how that individual is a perfectionist, if you have learned the aspect of respecting, you go to that person, you tell that person that that view, you respect the view the person brought forward, but you want to suggest with all humility that probably you should try something. Maybe it will work. Don't say it will work. Maybe. Because when you start saying it will work, you are already a perfectionist. Then you are saying it will work. No, maybe it will work. And you may be fortunate to find that this person will buy the idea. Like the one I said, that I put those stories there so that we can take it back to our places of work and show them that anyway, one at a time. You don't carry all that story to, no, it will not work. It's just one at a time. So the perfection is also, if you are working with people, you will be able to understand that individual. Maybe you yourself, you are the perfectionist, but you feel the other one is the perfectionist. Let me tell all of us, we have our own faults. All of us. So the thing is, like I've said, be positive and be optimistic. So go with that spirit to the person, that this person will buy the idea you are bringing forward, like I've told us. And don't forget assertiveness. Assertiveness. You'll be assertive. Let me run to another question. I'm not sure there is. Okay, most times we mistake assertiveness for aggressiveness. If I am a research leader and people on my team mistake my assertiveness for being aggressive, how do I go about with this to ensure efficiency? My dear, when people are telling you something, you must listen. If A is saying you are aggressive and C is saying it, F, E, all of them are saying it. It means there is elements of truth in it. So maybe when you are speaking on top of your voice, or you don't know when you actually lose control because the people they are stressing you out. So one needs to be very careful. And part of the thing about leadership is to listen. You listen to what, in fact, you are fortunate if they tell you with their mouth, because some, they will be saying it behind you. It will take you having the understanding of body language to pick it that something is wrong. So if you are fortunate that they are telling you, I suggest that you look into it and be firm, but not aggressive. Thank you. I've not seen any other question. So, Dr. Laide, are you there? Okay, this one says, how do you deal with co-workers that seem to have difficult characters? Emotional intelligence. You will need emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is not one size fits all, because the character that A is portraying that is bad may not be the character that B is portraying that is bad. So I recommend you go and read about emotional intelligence. I recommend that when you do that, you become more sensitive about knowing about people and how to handle them. Emotional intelligence is a topic that will take a whole presentation itself. It's more than a presentation, but just to give an eye opener on it. So what you need to do that is emotional intelligence. Even husband-wife relationship, we need this emotional intelligence. Boss to the subordinate, we need it. Parents to our children, we need it, because even like those children will continue to think they are children, but these ones, they have grown wings. We need that emotional intelligence. So I think we have to stop here. Thank you, everyone. And bye for now. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
We are
thank you.
very grateful. Obisheson Omobolaji, the director, AGMCP. We really appreciate you, and thank you for what you are doing in Usword. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, ma. Thank you, everyone, for coming. You are appreciated. So I will say good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, all over the world. On behalf of AGMCP and the president, the Images Initiative, Dr. Olaide, we say thank you and bye for now.